Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Shemiah, Shabbat, Shalom, Rakah, Kodash, Shalom to the hopefully elect out there. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, Neither Give Heed to Fables and Endless Genealogies. This is from 1 Timothy 1, verse 4, neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than most highly edifying, which is in faith, so do. So this is about faith. You got a lot of these guys out here that's trying to go super, super deep. They want to outdo the other individual as far as he can go. He's going to go deep. I got to go deep on this one. The scriptures speak about the simplicity that is in Yahweh Shai. Matter of fact, let me get that. Bear with me for a minute. So the topic is neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies. Oh, we can read this one. This is the main one that I was thinking of, but we can read Romans 12 and 8, or he that exhorteth or on exhortation, he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence, he that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. 2 Corinthians 1, verse 12. Let's see what that says. For our rejoicing is this, the testimony of our conscience, that in simplicity and powerly sincerity, not with fleshly wisdom. You go all into these different books and all, and this and you go super deep. You get this book out and that book out. But by the grace of the Most High, we have had our conversation in the world and more abundantly to you word. Let me read that again. Rejoice, for our rejoicing is this, the testimony of our consciousness, that in simplicity and powerly sincerity, not with fleshly wisdom, but by the grace of Yahweh, B'Shem Yahweh Shai, we have had our conversation in the world and more abundantly to you word. 2 Corinthians 11, verse 3, this is the one that I wanted. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in the Messiah. So let's look up the word simplicity. Simplicity. It says in Hebrews, you have need that one teach you again, which would be the first oracles of the Most High. I'm merely paraphrasing. Singleness, simplicity, sincerity, mental honesty, the virtue of one who is free from pretense and hypocrisy, not self-seeking, openness of heart manifesting itself by generosity. Because a lot of y'all out there try to go super, super deep. the breakdown of who Esau is not good enough. You got to find more scriptures and more information showing. Look, we already know if you're in the faith, if you're in this faith, this, the true truth, you know that Esau who he is. Now you got other Israelites that say, well, Esau is not the white man. Don't even waste your time with that individual. He's gone. Don't even waste your time with that. I want to have a debate on that. We're not going to have a debate. Yeah, you're afraid. Okay, if you think so. Look, any Israelite that says that the descendants of Japhet are so-called white people, they're old school. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. And guarantee you, they don't understand the scriptures, especially the prophecies. And you got some guys that say, oh, well, Esau are the Arabs. You got Israelite groups that actually say that. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me come over here. You got some people that teach that John the Baptist fell out the truth. All right, what did I say I was going to go? Esau. There it goes. Esau is not the white man. 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 Esau is not white. You see the guy with the long hair. So he doesn't believe in the New Testament. He doesn't follow the teachings of the Most High gave to the Apostle Paul. There you go. It's the long hair. He's not in the New Testament. Esau isn't the white man. Esau isn't the white man according to the Bible. Strong delusion on the chosen. Well, chosen are the elect. The elect was not going to be deceived. So he's saying that the elect are deceived. Oh, Super Grover. Esau is Esau is not the white man. Let me check. Let me click on this dude. Let's see what he has. What has he done lately? Hey, this guy. We should go back and forth with this clown every week. Esau is not the white man. Elder Tahar. As a sister, we all need to take our eyes off the skin and focus on the soul. I guarantee you this guy hadn't made a video anytime soon. You make some really good points. Thanks for the truth. That sounds sensible, but there, but but here's the thing: Esau was read well into his adult years, not just as a baby. Oh, that's a cut. Look at all the hatred. But anyway, let's go to these guys. This was put up 12 years ago because of us. Okay, let's see when the last time he put. Okay, so let me go to videos. Last time he did a video was in 6 years ago. 6 years ago. This is 10 years ago. So there you have it. Let me come back. Let me come up here. And I'm gonna get into the main subject in a minute. Okay, Gadash, Esau is not the white man. 3 years ago. That's a little demon or a robot. Okay, let me do this. That's Esau right there. It's an Elamite. It's an Elamite. Okay, so let me click on this guy. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, so in case you said I'm going to follow this guy, well, guess what? The last time he put a video up was a year ago. Hold up. And one last year, last year, he put up only 2 videos. This was 2 years ago. He put up only 1, 2, 3, 4 videos. That's a video every 3 months. Then it shall be known who am I chosen. The chosen are going to keep, they're going to continue. They're going to stay, they're going to keep that same energy. Oh, this guy. I remember we were going back and forth with this guy. He's an Israelite with the no fringes. Okay, so now let me see. This was 6 years ago. And this was because of us going back and forth with these guys. All right, so let me come back over here. Let me see the last time he put up a video. 7 months ago. A year ago, he only put up 1 video. 2 years ago, he put up how many videos? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I guess he ran out of gas. All right, 13, about 13, 14 videos 2 years ago. Israel and his brother Esau. So if you were following these guys, oh, he even went out on the highways and the byways 3 years ago. Not even a 3-minute video. So if you were to follow these guys, you got to keep that same energy, man. You sit there patiently waiting for the next video to come up, if it ever comes up. Go to any of my pages. You're going to see a video put up 15 hours ago, 2 days ago, a month ago, 15 minutes ago. Let's come back over here. Then it shall be known who am I chosen. Then you shall know that there's been a prophet among you. These guys are not prophets because they don't teach no more. Okay, let's say this guy. This was put up 5 years ago. Esau was not white. I'm pretty sure he been. Okay, good. Now, 5 years ago, right? Let's see. Let's see when the last time he put up a video. All right, let's go to live. Nothing on the live. Let's go to video. 6 months ago. Has nothing to do with Israel. How to fix a fire TV, fire stick. So you came to learn the knowledge. You're gonna learn how to get your fire. You can learn how to work. Remember this. Now, wait a minute, man. Since when does the fire stick become part of the gospel? This guy did 1 video on Esau, right? Let's do this. Esau. at all on Fire Stick videos, Fire Stick unboxing and more. Plus, we give you the gospel. Esau is not the white man. Did Esau really eat red meat? The only two scriptures you're gonna get, only two videos you're gonna get dealing with Israel. And then back to the Fire Stick. So the ones of you that started with these guys, you finish with these guys. You keep that same energy. Don't come around here. You understand? Anyway, this is an indication that you know that the man may very well be a prophet, that he's consistently doing videos on the same subject, which is the gospel. Okay, so let's come to this here. Let me come back over here. We had Great Millstone, and that includes Men of Valor. We have been doing a lot, mainly GMS. We've been doing a lot of videos on the MOTB. Why? Because it's right around, it's right at the door. It's not even right around the corner. It's right at the door. It can be in the next 6 months to a year that they actually have a breaking news and they introduce the MOTB to you. First of all, they're going to introduce to the world the CBDC, which they're already talking about. So it says, neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which we don't got to go all in it. I don't got to look at you and you got to give me we got to get a DNA test, brother, to come into the camp because you kind of look like an Edomite to me. You know, or Ephraimite come in might have like an Arab look to them. Ephraimites and them Latin tribes look a lot like Arabs. If Ephraimites go to the Arab country, they're going to think that they're Arabs or Ishmaelites or whatever, Midianites. So I look at a guy that says, I'm from the tribe I'm from the tribe of Ephraim. Well, I don't know, brother. You look like an Ishmaelite to me. Where's your DNA test? Everything happens through the spirit. Everything is spiritual. You know who a man is based upon his spirit and based upon his spirit. If he comes into this and he grows in this thing, he may very well be an Israelite. If he abides to the end, he may very well be an Israelite. So it says, neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions. A lot of different questions pop up. That's why at one time, FOPI, they were mostly working with the HODC, and then some they were kind of working with Priest of Bach, and then the 14th Street Israelites. Well, where are they at? Where are they at? Matter of fact, wait a minute. The great and powerful 14th Street Israelites. Let's see where they're at. Bear with me for a minute. 14th Street Israelites. All right, what's up with the 14th Street Israelites? With priests, wait a minute. Last video they did, and Bakwash is not even out there no more. He done gave up. The Orkin man done gave up. All right, so it is the last video. 14th Street Israelites, the Lord is order. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Homeboys all lined up. Where's Bakwash? Where's Bakwash? Where's Bakwash at? I remember when this was a fairly big camp. Last video 3 years ago, I wasn't thinking about them. I said, I'm going to get Bakwash on this one. No, just happened to pop up. That's how you know whether a man's a Lord. If a guy claims to be a prophet, you following him, he hasn't done this thing in 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 6 months. That's a big question mark right there, man. There's a big question mark right there. It said, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. The Lord told the disciples, which became the apostles, he said, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to what? And to finish his work. Endure hardness as a good soldier. Keep the same energy. When you first came in 8 years ago, 10 years ago, guess what? 10 years later in the future, you're supposed to keep the same energy. Anyway, let's get into this. Now, let me come over here. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but you can watch. I urge you to watch the rest of this, the whole video. Okay, give me a second here. Give me a second here. I don't know how new this was. Let me come over here.
All right, so brothers and sisters,
so this is Masharath Yah. And then it says, and Judah, the shooter, the 12 tribes chart, make it make sense, put up by Fopi. So this was the guy, if you saw the video of the council, this we're talking about how many years back? 2017, 2018, around there. They had a big council with this individual, which goes by his name is right here, and Judah Mack. And after the judgment, they said, well, I'm not with this no more. And basically they kind of, well, I'll let you listen.
I'm about to play this audio of this class. There's a few of them that I'm actually going to play. So let me set the scenario up for you. Everybody knows what Israel United in Christ teach in regards to the 12 tribes chart. But if you do your studies on the chart, if you do your studies on the history of the chart, if you do your studies on the 12 tribes in general, you'll know that any of these camps that teach that stuff is off. But they'll hold fast to this.
So you heard that. He was part of IUIC. He believed in the 12 tribes chart, but you heard what he just said. Anybody that believes in that 12 tribe stuff is, you know, let me let you hear it again. Let's get it word for word.
But if you do your studies on the chart, if you do your studies on the history of the chart,
do your studies, that doesn't guarantee you're going to get the truth, because the Most High said there's more than one scripture on that. One precept that comes to mind is Romans chapter 10, verses 13 on down, where the Most High set up men. Another scripture that comes to mind, Acts the 8th chapter, with the Ethiopian eunuch, which, by the way, before you jump up and say, well, wait a minute, he's an Ethiopian, he's not an Israelite. He was an Israelite that was living in Ethiopia, working for Queen Candace, whatever her name was. Candace or something to that effect. Go to Acts 8th chapter. I'm not going to go to it. But anyway, it was Philip that said, does thou understand what thou readest? And he said, how can I except some man guide me? So all you people that said, I'm just going to trust in the Lord and the Lord going to come to me. The Lord, D-E-L-O-R-D. The Lord come to me and wait. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If that was the case, the Lord wouldn't have to come. And if he did come, he wouldn't have to gather any 12. All he got to do is tap people on the head and they got the truth. The Most High always set up men that were teachers, that were leaders, that were given this truth to give to other men.
If you do the studies on the 12 tribes in general,
if you do studies on the 12 tribes, you're going to get confused. See, this man's confused. They make some good points, but they're going into the genealogy. Let me come back to this. Neither give heed to endless genealogies, neither give heed to fables like the God sent comforter. The people that was a part of the 1941 Madison, they just took it hook, line, and sinker. I don't think anybody questioned that shit. I damn sure would have questioned it. I'd have been out before he came back, talking that crap. I'd have picked up other things. But you had this mindset of Israel when they become a part of a particular group of Israelites, they become zombies. They become zombified. Whatever the heck, I like the way the garment that guy wearing and the way he preached. He courts to be a man of the Lord. So I'm whatever this nigga say, I'm going to follow. And that's what you do. You become zombies. A bunch of zombies. So this guy said, I'm the God sent comforter. And everybody just got zombied out. And the nigga died a couple years ago on April Fool's of the C-19. And you know what they did? They said he gonna rise back up. When did he die? 2020, I think it was. I can look it up. Somebody look it up. It was either April of 2020 or April 2021. Either way, 21, 22, 23. So we're talking 2 years. If it was in 20, we're talking 3 years. Am I right? So he said it and they believed it. Then when he died, they came up with some new shit. They said, look, he's gonna rise back up because he's a God sent comforter. So here they are waiting like zombies for this guy to wake back up. He ain't gonna wake back up. He'll wake back up in the kingdom or when he gets judged. It says, neither give heed to fables, because that's a fable. That's a fable. And endless genealogies, which minister questions, because you got to, if you question this, you question that, you question this, but how can Issachar be this? And I looked it up, and the Mexicans should really be of the tribe of Asher, and Asher, Negroes should be of the tribe of Asher, because the first slaves went to Brazil, and you guys say that does what? And endless genealogies which minister questions. You got a guy that's always questioning you on something. You break it down to him and he can't see it. Reincarnation. GOCC, they say there's no such thing as reincarnations. All Christians say that there's no such thing as reincarnations. Reincarnation, not reincarnations, but reincarnation. Because they're gonna constantly bring up questions about it, even though you show it to them. This ain't for you Christians any daggone way. It says, rather than what? Powerly or godly edifying, which is in faith. When Vocab rolled up with his motley crew and they kept asking, why do you believe that you're an Israelite? Or why do you believe this scripture is that? Or why did you believe that the Lord is black? And I kept saying, because of faith, because of faith. And then Vocab remixed it and he had the song, well, you got to have faith, the faith, the faith. Well, you make a mockery of it. Well, guess what? Everything comes down to the faith. You have faith that you're the Israelites. It's not by like Dr. Quaz Brown said. He said, well, if you check the DNA and it goes back to the University of Israel, well, that's your, of course you're going to make it do what it do. You're going to make it work for you. I don't follow that DNA nonsense. DNA is not even accurate. Anyway, it says here in Titus 3, verse 9, but avoid foolish questions. Somebody asks you a simple ass foolish question, you check that nigga. All right? Anytime you do a video and somebody asks some outlandish, bugged out question, you know what I do? I click on the guy. I notice he set his page up back in 2011, which ass shaking videos on it and hip hop videos and Glorilla and Cardi B and Jay-Z and this, that, and the third. But he got a Hebrew Israelite name, King Malak of Yahweh Shai. He got the Yahweh. He'll get Yahweh. He'll say Yahweh in the name of Yahweh. He'll get part of it. He'll get Yahweh Shai correct, but the name of the Most High incorrect. And he'll probably tell you that, oh, I don't believe Esau is the white man. But here you got nothing. You set up in 2011. You got booty shaking videos and hip hop videos, and And then when you check the subscriptions, he's got a couple of GMS sites, got some IUIC, got some ISUPK, got some GOCC, got some black consciousness videos. The nigga is you based upon his question, he's a bug out, man. So what are you gonna try to answer this guy? You're gonna cut him off. You ain't got no business talking to that dude, man. Until he gets in he's not in his right mind. In order for you to get to this truth, you have to be in your right mind. You have to come out of that zombie state. So it says, but avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions. And what is a contention? It's the same as a debate. Let me look that word up. And that's why ain't no Israelite had no business hanging with Sarnet and the black conscious community having debates. And that's all about entertainment and money. At the end of the day, it's all about money. Because if they were sincere, they wouldn't charge you for no goddamn debate. Like an honest debate, I have to say this: the debate with Dr. Quaz Brown and the leader of Sakari, which is Priest Al-Azhar, that was a decent debate because it was free. It was free. When you go back to the Agora in Acts, what is that? Acts 17. Paul speaking to the men of Athens, which were Israelites. Wait a minute, no, it said Athens. We all know that Athens are white people. Nope. The true Athens are Jake. The ones that made Greece on and popping, live and popping was Jake, man. So you better turn around and shut the fuck up. So that was an honest debate because guess what? They didn't charge nobody. Anytime Sarnetta have a debate, but you know what? That's what he does. That's how he makes his living. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if it's a true, honest debate, you want to have it in the Agora. Well, what is the Agora today? The World Wide Web. That's the new Agora. You go to a particular site because that's where they had debates. The Agora was a marketplace. Mars Peak or Mars Hill, which was called what was it called? Let me go to it. Now I'm mad. The Agora is a marketplace, right? I'm a little all over the place, but that's all right. There's lessons within lessons. So let's go to Acts 17. See, I'm not wondering whether I'm in the truth. Maybe I'm supposed to be a Buddha. Maybe Islam is the way. Maybe I am a Kemet. Anybody that's in Israel thinking like that, anybody in Israel thinking like that, they need to leave, man. The Most High is not dealing with you, and you're not one of the elect. So let me come on down here. Let me ease on down here. I want to go right to the point. This whole chapter is beautiful. As a matter of fact, the book of Acts is a beautiful book. And some of them believed and concerted with Paul, blah, blah, blah. And of the devout Greeks, a great multitude, and of the chief women, not a few. So these Greeks were Israelites that wasn't raised up as being Israelites, coming back into the fold, discovering that they're Israelites, like Cornelius. But the Jews which believed not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort, meaning blockheads, zombie blockheads that just follow. You know, you got the one leader, he's a part of GMS, he leaves GMS, he gets a following of blockhead zombies, and he'll say something. See, GMS, Tahar, the Most High not dealing with you. You's a nigga. Plus you're an Edomite. You're an Edomite. Then it's blockhead zombies. That's right. Tahar is an Edomite. It said, took unto them certain lewd fellows. Look up the word lewd, and baser sort. The dummies, the low IQers. and gathered a company, and set all the city on an uproar and assaulted the house adjacent. They get physical too. These blockhead zombies or zombie blockheads. Bear me for a minute. Okay, I'm jumping the gun. I'm going right here. Paul at Athens, right? Who's living in Athens? You had Edomites living in Athens, but you had a lot of Jakes living in Athens. It says, now while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue, because you had Israelites living in Athens, Greece. You had Israelites living in Rome. It was what was this guy? I forget his who was the I always forget his name, the Caesar. What was the what was his goddamn name? The Caesar that pushed out the Israelites out of Rome. Give me a second. A list of the Caesars of Rome. Here's a summary from Wikipedia. Diseases: the Antonine plague, the plague of Scythia, morbus Gallicus, malaria, and mendigram. List of emperors of Rome. Give me a second. Roman emperors in order. Claudius. I always forget his name. Claudius. I remember all the other ones in their order, but Claudius. It was Claudius during that, right? 41 to 54. That's when Paul and the apostles were living. He kicked them out in Acts 18. All right. So Paul was near Rome. He was not too far from Rome because he was in Athens, Greece at the time. All right, so let me see here. Therefore, disputed he in the synagogue with Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met him. Now that word market is agora. I'm gonna get back into my main subject, but there's lessons within lessons. Market, agora. An assembly, especially of the people, the place of assembly for public debating. So all debates were free. There's a movie called Agora or the Agora. And the opening scene is a debate for elections. That's why when presidents are elected, everything is on TV, right? When you have certain uh, uh, cases in courts, a murder case is mostly on TV. Or if you go to court, you can walk. It's open to the public. You can go to any court and you can walk into the courtroom as long as there's a place for you to sit down. You can sit down. It has nothing to do with you. They can't tell you to leave because it's public. All right. For what? For trials. For what? For buying and selling. What does it mean? It's a marketplace for all kinds of business. Marketplace, street. So when you had your debates, you didn't have it in an auditorium where you had to charge people to come in and look at it. So the new agora, which is the marketplace, is the web. So let me come back. Bear with me. I'm gonna get into my subject. Okay, 1717 marketplace. Then certain other philosophers, the Epicureans and the Stoics, encountered him, and some said, "What will this babbler say?" Others some, "He seemeth to be a setter forth of strange gods," because it was strange to them. Why was it strange to them? Because they've been so far from the true God that they accepted other gods, Zeus and the brothers of Zeus and the sisters of Zeus, Poseidon and Hades and so forth, because he preached unto them Yahushua and the resurrection. So it's obvious that they were Israelites, and he took and he and they took him and brought him unto Areopagus, saying, "May we know what this new doctrine." And that's why there's such a big deal with vocab and these Israelites coming out, these Christians coming out the woodwork, coming against us, because this is a new doctrine. This is relatively new. Abba came on the scene. He broke away from the commandment keepers. He delved into the New Testament. Then you had people come up under him, and then you had really three men left: Masha, Ari, and Yaquab. And there were seven altogether. And then we come from that generation. We are the third generation after Abba. You got Abba, you got the seven, and then you got us. We're the new leadership. But so this is new. This is new. When did it really become new? Not so much during the time of Abba or even the seven, but during our time, because of what? Because of the web. So this thing is new. This is a new thing as of 15 years ago. This is new to a lot of people. It says, "And they took him and brought him into Areopagus, saying, May we know, may we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speaketh is. For thou bringest certain strange things to our ears. We would know, therefore, what these things mean. For all, I'm gonna show you that this is the so-called Black consciousness community. For all the Athenians, which were Jake men that were living in Athens, and strangers, Israelites, which were there, spent their time in nothing else but either to tell or to hear some new thing. When they can't get the Israelites right in a debate, they got to debate each other, and they all believe the same thing. They all go back to the Kemetic gods, but they're debating certain points. Ain't nobody want to see that. They want to see them debate an Israelite, man. And see if Captain Cesariak would stop dealing with them, that whole thing would fall like a deck of cards. Ain't nobody want to be no Kemetic person. That shit is played the fuck out. So now let's deal with the word Areopagus. Areopagus. You got to understand the biblical history in certain terms, and Christians don't know this, man. Christians don't know this. So let me see. I'll let you hear it.
Strong's G 697. Areas Pagas. Areas Pagas.
Say area. Areopagus, which is Marshall Peak. Marshall meaning war. Now, Ares is a god of war, which the Romans called him Mars. A Mars peak, Marshall Peak, a rock height in the city of Athens, opposite the western end of the Acropolis toward the west. And it says Mars Hill. Give me a second here. I wanted to get Ares, which is, or Arios, which is the god of war, which the Roman equivalent is Mars. Mars is the god of war. So it's actually called Heriopagus. Mars Peak. So now let's get back into this. Let's listen to a little bit more. So this is why Jake can't get it, because they're stuck on whatever philosophy that they came up in. Like if you go to Philadelphia, you're gonna run into a lot of Jake. Jake is heavy into Islam, man. There's a big influence of Islam in Philadelphia and in Jersey, like Newark, New Jersey, places in New Jersey, Philadelphia, have a heavy influence of Jake's that's in the religion of Islam, you know, and or Christianity, because that's what they were given. Normally, a lot of these brothers that are in the Islam, they're in the Islam because their fathers and their grandfathers were in the Islam when it came over here. When Ali changed his name to Muhammad Ali, if y'all remember, not every, but most major athletes changed their name to Islamic name, to an Islamic name. The second guy that changed his name to an Islamic name was a man by the name of Lou Alcindor. Y'all don't even know who Lou Alcindor is. If you go back far enough, you know who he is. Lou Alcindor is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Why did he change his name? Because Ali changed his name to Muhammad Ali. Then you had every freaking boxer had an Islamic name. You know, they started boxing with Jeff Smith. Then they had Muhammad Abdul Akbar, Zaire. I remember that, man. I remember all them dudes, man. Not all of them, but majority of them changed their name, and it came out of what? It came out of Jersey, and it came out of Philly. So Jake is influenced by the things around him. So let's listen.
In general, you know that any of these camps that teach that stuff is off. But they'll.
So you heard what he said. Any of those camps. Let's bring it back one more time.
Teach in regards to the 12 tribes chart. But if you do your studies on the chart, if you do your studies on the history of the chart, if you do your studies on the 12 tribes in general, you'll know that any of these camps that teach that stuff is off. But their whole thing.
So he came up under the IUIC, he got disenchanted, you know, the whole story, the council and all that, so he left. So that truth was taken from him. So how can you explain Ezekiel 37, verse 16 on down? What does that mean? When was that fulfilled? And we're the only group on the planet Earth that carries around the 12 tribe sign when they go out there speaking are the what? The former one Westers. Even Nate, at one time, Bishop Nathaniel wasn't even carrying the 12 tribe sign around, and we used to curse this guy out. Back when we first got on YouTube, he said, "Where's the 12 tribes sign at? You know, why is your beard so short? Why you got a 5 o'clock shadow?" That's when he didn't have no members. We kept saying, "Where's the 12 tribes sign at?" I remember him teaching that I gotta go into the scriptures to prove who the 12 tribes are. Meaning he didn't accept what Ariad taught, what the seven taught him. Ariad taught him. So eventually, what he did was, all of a sudden, he brought back the 12 tribe sign. He didn't bring no new scriptures. He went by the way of the breakdown that High Priest Ariad put together. But at one time, he didn't even have the sign out there, man. We always got the sign out there. And anytime you see us without the sign, that means maybe the brother forgot it. whatever the case may be, or he's fixing it because the sign broke or whatever. But we make it a point to carry around the 12 tribe sign with us because the fulfillment of that is now. Not when the disciples, the apostles were walking around. They weren't walking around with a 12 tribe sign. Ezekiel was not walking around with a 12 tribe sign. Isaiah was not walking around with a 12 tribe sign. Jeremiah was not walking around with a 12 tribe sign. So when did this thing become fulfilled? When the bones started coming together. When did the bones start coming together? During our time. So when this man says what he says, and he's just confused, and Fopi just played on it, man. See, we're not the only ones that teach that the 12 tribe sign they're going off on. So let's listen to some more.
Fast to this, and they'll tell you, brothers and sisters, and they'll convince y'all that what they're saying is true. But I'm telling you, it's a money grab, and I know it to be a money grab for sure. 1,000% sure it's a money grab. But I'm gonna show you, brothers and sisters, that IUIC don't even believe that the so-called Hispanics, the light-skinned Spaniards, the Native Americans, they don't even believe that they Israel. And they gonna tell you out their own mouth that the Africans that we know of that's still on their side, those are the Israelites. And they're gonna tell you even during slavery that all the other nations knew that they was Israelites. And it has nothing to do with the ones that we've been taught as the Hispanics that we know of are Israel. And again, this ain't me. I'm gonna let them tell you out their own mouth. So don't call me talking about mosh this, mosh that. I am going to let Israel United.
The Most High took the wine out of him. Most High punctured and I'm not saying the guy is wicked or nothing like that. He sounds sincere. He looks sincere. You can look at a man and see that he's sincere. He's sincere. You're gonna see his brother. They both look sincere, but guess what? They're sincerely wrong. They should have kept that same energy. They should have taught what they taught, what they were taught, man. So let me let you listen to a little bit more.
And if Christ tell you that they do not believe that the light-skinned Hispanics are the Israelites. Hey, my brother, be good. What's good? The first one I'm gonna show y'all is show him, Michael. What's good, bro? The first one I'm gonna show you is a small clip of Nathaniel, and he said
that I sent to you. This is one of the pictures that was posted or sent to you. Give me the picture. Let me do the first thing. Give me the picture that I sent to you. This is one of the pictures that was posted or sent to me. Because when I say I don't look at these people's videos, I don't. People take snapshots and send them to me. Some of the FBI informant who did a lesson on me. Let's put that. You know what I'm talking about? Little conquistador. Little conquistador. Little conquistador. I want y'all to look at this. I want y'all to, also, can you read the title to this thing? Can't really see it. But can you go a bit? I want you to look at the title. These are men that say they're still in the truth, but their classes are not edifying anybody. They're all personal attacks. Read that. Nathaniel's ranking system contributed to Joy's death. Oh, here we go. Tú es estúpido conquistadores. Bruto, bruto, bruto. Oh, mi amigo. Tú es estúpido conquistadores. Bruto, bruto, bruto. Tú es estúpido.
The guy, I forget the brother's name. I forget the dude's name. You know, he was in the business with Kanai, and he said this, and he was getting flaked on, and the whole nine. I don't know all the stuff. He told his story. They got to both tell. You got to hear both sides of the story, but that caused him to get out of it. What is his name? I used to know his name. I forget his name. It's not Gadaliah. That's the other dude that I ran into. But anyway, he was a guy that had the skills to make the IUIC, the beginning, the jump off of the video, the opening of the video, all that CGI stuff. He was behind that. Well, he did say that he didn't get paid for it, you know. But when he left, got kicked out, get ready to get kicked out, left before they kicked him out, whatever the case is. When he left, all of a sudden he was no longer Israelite. He's a conquistador, which means he's an Edomite, which that's wicked. Now, if I had a light-skinned dude that's an Ephraimite in the camp of GMS, and if he fell off, I'm not going to call him a conquistador. I'm going to say he's an Israelite that fell off.
Little conquistadores. He is stupid conquistadores. Bruto.
This guy likes to call people morons and stupid and idiots, like when he did. I'm talking about Bishop Nathaniel when he did the thing. He did that interview and he said, "There's not going to be a time of Jacob's trouble." So we jumped up on it and said, "What do you mean? It's in the scriptures." That's like saying, let me see, the Lord's not coming back. The Lord's not coming back, but it's in the scriptures. So the time of Jacob's trouble is in the scriptures. So he said there ain't gonna be no time of Jacob's trouble. So we were the ones that jumped on it because we're the true defenders of the gospel. And we said he's going off. And then finally he admitted that, well, at that time, nothing was really happening for you morons out there. So this guy's a demon. He's a straight up demon. And guess what? He's going to eat his words on the MOTB. He's going to have to tell that zombie congregation of his something, you know? And I ain't trying to get all into it. I made a little promise to myself not to just get on him for no reason. I got to have a reason. So if you're watching, what's his name? Asaph, shalom to you, brother. Shalom, Ak. All right? Don't get mad, get glad. So let's listen to a little bit more.
All right, I'm gonna run it back in a second. The Hispanics, and that's my cousin, and you calling him a stupid conquistador. I'd be like, hold the fuck on.
So they just said the guy that he showed that he called him a stupid conquistador. Bruto meaning stupid, which the Italians use that. Bruto meaning stupid. Sometimes it also means ugly. So he said that this guy is called a conquistador, Spaniard. But this brother said, Mosh said that there's a cousin, I believe in the Midwest, the direct cousin of this guy that's still in the camp. So if he's a Spaniard, then his cousin got to be a Spaniard. That's the point that he was making. So I jumped that. Like I said, watch this whole video.
Talking about me then, because that's my cousin. So if you feel like that towards him, and you saying that about him, what do you really feel about me? Now, granted, I've gotten phone calls from these brothers, some Hispanic brothers that are in the congregation, and I promise you, they all say the same thing, that they not even sure, and they question it themselves if they Israel or not. I promise you, I get those phone calls, and you know what I tell them?
Now that he said that this guy's a stupid Spaniard, a conquistador, these other light-skinned Latin tribes, that's a splinter in their mind. That's why let's come back over here. So you got to be careful as to what you say. You know, two Ephraimites come in, or appear to be Ephraimites. One guy falls out. You say he's a Spaniard, but the brother stays in. The twin brother stays in. So what is he going to think? He said, well, shit, he thinks I'm a Spaniard too. Okay, neither give heed to fables and what? And endless genealogies, which minister questions. We don't know who Israel, I mean, we have an idea, but you're going to have Israelites looking just with blonde hair and blue eyes. Look at Blake Griffin's son. Looks just like a little white boy, blonde hair, blue-eyed white boy. If he grows up, if this system was to go another 20 years, 25 years, he grows up, he gets with a blonde haired, blue eyed Edomite girl and has a baby, that baby's gonna look super Scandinavian looking, Edomite, white, blonde hair, blue eyes, pale skin. But guess what? That son or that daughter is an Israelite. Me and the Apostle Gabar, we were working down in village. We were doing delivery down there, and we saw a white woman, blonde hair, blue eyed, Scandinavian looking white woman, with two little white girls that looked just like their mother. And then we saw the father, which was a super dark skinned black dude, but you can see the daughters walk just like the father. So we said, oh shit, them two little white girls are Israelites. And we were bugging out. So you're gonna have Israelites, Jeremiah 12 and 9, 12 and was it 9 and 12, 12 and 9. Speckled bird, we're gonna look like everybody because we were scattered. Neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies. That's why you gotta deal with this thing in a spiritual sense. You gotta have spiritual eyes, which minister questions. So just like the brother Mosh said, I'm saying Mosh for short, he said, you got people that call me that are from the tribe of Ephraim and the Latin tribes questioning whether they're Israelites or not because of what, Bishop Nathaniel said concerning this individual. Forget the dude's name, man. It'll come back to me. Okay? So you go into that genealogy thing. See, I really can't say I'm a Levite. A Judite really can't say they're Judite. You got Judites out there that could be Levites. You got Levites out there that could be Benjaminites. You got you got Simeonites, a lot of Simeonites, and Brazilians, Ashites. A lot of them are Judah. A lot of them are Judah, Benjamin, Levi. There's a mixing with Simeon and Levi too. I know that for a fact. Let me come over here. Where did I say I was going to go? I was holding this up. Where in the hell did I say I was going to go? Okay, let me come over here. Check this out. When did the first African slaves arrive in South America? I didn't put America, South America. The first voyage carrying enslaved people, meaning Jake, direct from Africa, West Africa to be exact, to the Americas probably sailed in what? In 1526. In 1526. So that kills that 400-year prophecy thing of America, 1619 and to 2019. The first Black African slaves came over here in 1526. The number of people carried off from Africa, West Africa, reached 30,000 per year in the 1690s and 85,000 per year a century later, meaning the 1790s going into the 1800s. Then there was a point where they stopped getting slaves because slaves were ready for them. And they had enough so-called Black African slaves where they had breeding farms and they can produce other slaves. They didn't need to go back to Africa. They have millions of Jakes already over here already. When did slavery start in Latin America? Check this out, between 1502 and 1866, of the 11.2 million Africans taken, Israelites, only 300, not even 400,000 arrived in North America. The rest of who? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. The rest went to Brazil. By the way, Brazil is a Hebrew word. It means iron, barazal. The European colonies in the Caribbean, Jamaican islands, the various different islands, and Spanish territories, meaning the territories over here in the Americas. in like Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, which is Haiti, which was controlled by the French, which are all Edomites, and South America in that order. These slaves were brought, talking about the kingdom of Judah, kingdom of Judah. These slaves were brought as early as the 16th and 17th century. For the ones of you that don't know, the 16th century was the 1500s. Okay, we're in 2023, which is the 21st century. Anytime you see 16th century, it's talking about the 1500s. When did slavery start in Brazil? Courtesy of Firestone Library, Brazil was built on the enslavement of indigenous peoples. These were the Northern Kingdom, and millions of Black Africans, the Southern Kingdom, of the 12 million enslaved Africans brought to the New World. Almost half, 5.5 million people, were forcibly taken to Brazil as early as 1540. Guess what? That's the 14th century. And until the 1860s. So you run into a Brazilian, good chance that's one of the Southern Kingdom. A lot of Dominicans look Jake, got woolly hair, curly hair. Some look indigenous, and there was a mixture among Judah and the Northern Kingdom. So really, when you say you're of the tribe of Judah and you're of the tribe of this and you're the tribe of that, that's just you may be. Doesn't necessarily mean you are. It doesn't necessarily mean I am of Levi. I could be of Judah. I could be of Benjamin. I could be of one of the Latin tribes. There was so much mixing going. I could be Gad. So the Most High is going to straighten that whole thing up in the kingdom, in the new covenant. For you guys with that when you going to teach your men about the new covenant? Because the new covenant is already here. The new covenant, it was established when Yahweh Shai came and died on the cross, but the new covenant is not fully fulfilled. Because you can say, yes, we're a part of the new covenant, but the new covenant will not be fully fulfilled until what? The kingdom comes and we are changed. When all the tribes follow the Lord's statutes and commandments, when everything is in order, that's a fulfillment of the new covenant. But are we in the new covenant? In a sense, we are, yes, because the Lord did that. The blood of the what? Of the New Testament, the new covenant. But the fulfillment of that is, I'm saying it again, so just in case you didn't have me the first time, it's going to be established when the Most High changes us and he establishes the kingdom of heaven. And not one Israelite's going to go off. Anyway, I don't got to read no more on this. Let me do this. The first civilization established in the region where the Maya, Aztecs, and Inca, which are of the Northern Kingdom, the Maya ruled over Mesoamerica, the Aztecs in central Mexico, and the Incas in South America. Many indigenous cultures inhabited the Caribbean as well. These were Israelites. They wasn't speaking Spanish. They started speaking Spanish when the Spaniards came over. So it says, instead of constantly questioning whether you were in the tribes, just go with the spirit. What does it say here? Rather than the powerfully edifying, which is in faith, so do. So, you can go deep sometimes, But you got to be simple. And anytime we go head to head with the Christians, we always go back. We're forced to go back to the basics of this thing because they don't go deep. They're still stuck on, well, it said the Lord came for the Gentiles and the heathens and the Greeks. What about Galatians 3, verse, 28? The Jews first and also the Greeks. I'm merely paraphrasing. So that's what this guy vocab hops on. It says Greeks. And then you got to explain to them the Greeks are Israelites. The Grecians in Acts 6 are Israelites. It says, but avoid foolish questions. You get a knucklehead ask a stupid question, avoid him. Block him from your channel. Take his comment down so it doesn't confuse anybody else. But avoid foolish questions and genealogies, says here, endless genealogies, and contentions, which is debates, and striving about the law. Okay, like the IUIC, they always say, you want to make it, you got to keep the law, which is true for the Israelites. They knew they were Israelites. They didn't put an emphasis on keeping the law to the Israelites coming out of that Gentile state of mind. Colossians 2, verse 16, that's all you got to read, which is a shadow of things to come. That's what the Jerusalem Council is all about. They said, but avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and striving about the law, for they are unprofitable and what? And vain. And vain ultimately means wicked. You're being wicked. When you ask a stupid question, you're really being wicked. Keep thy foot when I cometh into the house of the Lord, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. So this is the word vain, devoid of force, truth, devoid of truth, success, result, useless, of no purpose. So you asking a stupid question. So we might tell you, look, brother, just watch the things. Yeah, but I gotta know this. I gotta understand this. See, you gotta give it to me. If you don't give it to me, then the Lord ain't dealing with you. You know what you do? Cut the nigga. Cut the nigga. So let's come back to this.
It's irrelevant. Keep the commandments. The Most High sort this stuff out at the.
Now he said that. He said it's irrelevant. Keep the command. You know where he got to keep the commandment from? He adopted that from them. And it's not that simple. Just keep the commandments. No. If you have individuals coming out of this thing, you don't tell them, look, brother, you got to grow your beard as of right now. You got to put fringes on every garment that you got, even your pajamas. The Day of Atonement coming in another 3 days. You got to keep the Day of Atonement. No. The Passover is 2 days from now. Here this man came out to the camp one time. He accepts the fact that he's an Israelite. He said it makes sense. Well, guess what? 2 days is the Passover. You got to come to the Passover. You don't tell no man to just come into the Passover. You have to grow into this thing. There's levels to this thing. So that blanket statement of keep the commandments, you got to qualify that. Because that's what the wicked scribes and Pharisees said. They kept telling them Israelites to keep the commandments. And so the Lord said in Matthew 23, he said, yeah, do keep the commandments. But he said, do what they say to do, but don't do what they do. Because they say and do not. They tell you to keep the commandments. They ain't keeping the commandments. So they're a bunch of damn hypocrites.
The end. But the one thing I'm not going to do is tell you that the 10 tribes came over here. The one thing I'm not going to do.
Where did the 10 tribes go to? Where did the 10 tribes go to? See, when this man fell out, like I said, he looks sincere. I believe he's sincere. But what he should have did, maybe he should have said, let me get with GMS, or let me get with Sakari, or let me get with ISUBK, or let me watch some of these guys' videos and ask questions, because GMS teaches things different from IUIC and ISUBK. So he concludes that all one Westers don't have the truth. So he's going to have to find the truth on his own. Let's listen to that again.
Israel or not. promise you I get those phone calls. And you know what I tell them? It's irrelevant. Keep the commandments. The Most High sort this stuff out at the end. But the one thing I'm not going to do is tell you that the 10 tribes came over here. The one thing I'm not going to.
So he doesn't understand the gospel. That's part of the gospel. That's part of the gospel. So obviously he doesn't accept the Apocrypha because it tells you plainly how they came to a new region. That's what the Hebrew word is. Asareth are two Hebrew words, which means another land, a new region, which is the America. That's a fulfillment of. Wait a minute. How do you break down Deuteronomy? I did a video on this yesterday. How do you break down or to get the understanding of Deuteronomy 28 and 64? Because it said you shall go from one side of the earth to the other, to the ends of the earth. When you look up scattered, it says to the ends of the earth, scattered throughout the ends of the earth. When was that fulfilled? When was that fulfilled? When did the Israelites get scattered throughout the whole planet Earth? Because who was here when the white man came over here? Indians, indigenous people. So who did they have to be? Those are the Israelites. What did they do? They fulfilled Deuteronomy 28:64. That's a go-to. Like I said, matter of fact, let me do this. I'm sorry. Let me do this. Anybody that says the Israelites did not come to the Americas, the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, is not dealing with you. Point blank, period. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Let's look up the word scatter. And these are all Old Testament scriptures. Isaiah 24, verse 1, behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. This is a good one. I'm not going to read it, though. Let me see what this one says. For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in what? In measure. That's why I said, if a guy listens to you on a Saturday at the camp and the Passover is going to be on that Wednesday, you don't say, okay, brother, you accept the fact that you're an Israelite, come to the Passover, make sure you put your fringes on. You don't do that. Everything comes in measure, and will not leave thee altogether what? Unpunished, because the Most High going to save us. Save us from where? America. The elect of Israel, for the most part, in the land of Babylon. So the Israelites didn't go to Babylon. There's no Israelites in Canada. in Central and South America? Another beautiful one, Ezekiel 11, verse 16. Therefore say, thus saith Yahweh the Most High, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and we were here before the heathen got here. The heathen came after us, talking about the northern kingdom. And although I have scattered them among the countries, what country? What countries? Canada, the US, Central America, and South America. Yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. '17 verse. Therefore say, thus saith Yahweh the Most High, I will even gather you from the people and assemble, put you in order, assemble you out of the what? Of the countries. That includes the North, Central, and South America. Where ye have been what? Scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel. I don't got to read no more. Let's go back to this individual right here again. Pull it back some.
You feel like that towards him, and you saying that about him, what do you really feel about me? Now, granted, I've gotten phone calls from these brothers, some Hispanic brothers that are in the congregation, and I promise you, they all say the same thing, that they not even sure, and they question it themselves if they Israel or not. I promise you, I'll get those phone calls. And you know what I tell them? It's irrelevant. Keep it coming.
That goes into making him 2 times the child of hell. Matter of fact, let me get that. Matthew 23. Matthew 23, verse 15. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye can pass sea and land to make one proselyte, that means a newcomer to the faith, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourself. So when you tell somebody, well, you in the tribe of Ephraim, come on in. The guy comes in, and one guy from Ephraim, a bunch of guys come in, one guy falls off, he making videos coming against y'all. Then this guy's an Edomite, he's a Spaniard. So the rest of them that stayed in there, in the back of their minds, they might not say nothing. They're saying, well, wait a minute, we might be, Spaniards too, brother. I don't know what to do now. Well, that's what it means. You make them twofold the child of hell. Going off, clearly going off. You don't know who Israel is. You're gonna have people looking like blonde hair, blue-eyed Scandinavians. They could be Israelites. You're gonna have people looking like Jet Li that are Israelites.
Commandments. The Most High sort this stuff out at the end. But the one thing I'm not gonna do is tell you that the 10 tribes came over here. The one thing I'm not gonna do is tell you something to tell you that the 10 tribes came over here. This stuff, what I tell them, it's irrelevant. Keep the commandments. The Most High sort this stuff out at the end. But the one thing I'm not gonna do is tell you that the 10 tribes came over here.
The Most High is not dealing with you. The Most High is not dealing with you at all. The one thing I'm not going to tell you is the 10 tribes came over here. The 10 tribes did come over here. The people that Columbus and Esau, the white man, encountered were Israelites. Even certain pastors from Esau in the 1500s, the 1500s, 15, 16, 1700s, there was a big thing that they were saying that these people in the Americas, these are the Israelites. That's what the white man said. Long before we said it, long before Abba came on the scene, long before the commandment keepers. The so-called white settlers that came over here to the Americas were saying the people of this land are descendants of the Israelites. I'm gonna get ready to close it. I mean, like I said, you can read you can watch the rest of this. So anyway, I think I said enough. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.